living, loving, and breathing sport. Saucy. It's the Blackout.
It's the Blackout, mate. It's the Blackout.
Ladies and gents,
trouble in the green room. Technical trouble.
No, it's not us. StreamYards could be getting a Le Mans. They're just... Everything's blacked out. So if you're watching this live and there's no background to our podcast, we can't bring up any lemons. We can't bring up anything. Like no images, nothing. Our roll clean banner can't even come up in the roll clean segment. We've just got a black background. It's our two ugly mugs on the screen. So those that enjoy listening to the audio, you'd be pretty happy.
That's only on our end because on YouTube, when I'm looking at right now, the background's there. So we're good to the subscribers. We're good. We're good.
Oh, so it's just us.
It's just us.
They've just blacked us out.
Oh,
what the hell? I'll tell you what, ladies and gents, though, there is one thing that is coming up on our end.
And big shout out to Rip and Wax from the Island Boys. He's a sports card brand. You already know what time it is, man. Let's hype him up. Check him out on IG. You already know what it is and what he does. He breaks the hottest drops on the Whatnot app.
On the What Scam app.
Whoa. We're on.
We're on.
Sauce, we just got our background back. What is it? Sorry, ladies and gents, if you're watching this live and we're rambling. It's all happening. I don't know what's going on. We're back.
Global says it's all good on his end, and we can bring up comments. So we're a go.
That's all that we care about. As long as we can bring up comments and we get the crew in here, dropping stuff in the chat. That's all we care about. Anyway, Sauce, how are you?
I'm good. I'm pumped, ready to go. We've had a bit of action over the weekend. We had a big bout that we all knew what was going to be the result. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Even though I just sprung it on him on the agenda, but we'll talk about it for a bit of a piss take. Then we had the Melbourne Card Fair. So we went down there, Domma.
It was good.
It was jam-packed. It was jam-packed, so we can talk to that in Hobby Talk about what happened down there and how people fared, or how we fared at least. I can't talk for others, but it did get positive reviews and opinions and from others that did attend the show too. So which is good. We'll talk to that a bit later on. But other than that, we've got the UFC that went past for another week of AFL. We've got some exclusive.
Newsworthy, breaking.
Not breaking newsworthy, but I'm just saying I may or may not have seen a group of players frequenting a cafe in my local area, a bit of a team meeting, leaders of the club.
And what, you eavesdropped?
Well, Domma, this is the new media. This is not we don't go in there and you can get a photo, mate. You sit there close enough with the cafe so you can hear what's being said, but you don't look. You know what I mean? You just got one ear on that. What's going on over there? And I'll tell you what, they are confident, and I'll let you know who that is. Obviously, Victorian side because we live in Victoria, so the Victorian side. I'll let you know who that is. Steaming into finals, they are steaming.
All right. Well, we are going to start with the AFL as we usually do. Back on the cards tonight, obviously EPL, it starts this weekend, so we'll cover that. Women's World Cup, the Matildas were fantastic last night. We'll cover that as well. Hobby Talk, as Saucy mentioned, and then we'll wrap this bad boy up. It's not the Blackout anymore. So we've called this episode the Blackout for absolutely no reason. But anyway, I was going to do something creative with the thumbnail, which I'm going to do anyway. So let's get into it. So AFL, we had round 21. We had the Friday night game where the game genuinely was over in the first quarter. The Bulldogs defeat Richmond by 55 points. They put up 8 goals to 1 in the first quarter and ended the game. It was done at quarter time. It was finished. It was over. So they win 126-71. Not even going to get into it. Richmond is shit. The Bulldogs are absolutely flying. The Bont is just on another planet. And he's firming up to potentially come in and steal this Brownlow if he can finish the year off strong due to some unfortunate news for one team, which we'll get to towards the end of this round review. On the Saturday fixtures, it started off with a fantastic win by the Bombers against the Eagles, defeating them 10-13, 73 to 11-6, 72. I've seen so many Bombers fans celebrating the hard-fought victory, and I've gone to Saucy Collectibles on Instagram and clicked on it. His first image is him at the game. The second image is Essendon, you're an effing disgrace. And he just flamed them. Every other Essendon supporter celebrating. Saucy Collectibles, you're a disgrace.
Yeah, well, we kicked that goal in the last minute over the top. Joe the Goose Langers kicks it, bangs it home with 30 seconds left or whatever, 40 seconds left. And everyone in the stadium stands up, yelling, screaming, carrying on like wild monkeys. I'm just bloody sit there, shaking my head, going, what is this? What is this?
If you've never
We
been
let
to the
them pick the last seven of the last 9 goals of the game, Dom.
Ladies and gents, if you've never been to the football with this man, book your ticket. Book your ticket. Even if you don't go for the Bombers, you should be lining up to go to the footy with this man. Straight up. Book the ticket in now. Schedule it with him. He'll try and he'll save you a spot. That's how he is, the great fella. But be prepared for what's to come for the Essendon Football Club when you sit with him. His own fans might even turn on him. He just doesn't care. I love it. You're on the money though. How can you defeat the worst team in the league? Mind you, I was actually hoping West Coast beat you because if they beat you, then we're guaranteed Harley Reid. So that's why
I was too, Tom. I was too. I was live at the game, and at 3/4 time, I put $20 on West Coast at 10-1. And I thought they were going to come back and win me a nice $200 payout. I was spewing. I actually wanted West Coast to win in the end because we played that. We were playing so bad after half time. I was seeing in the third quarter. I said, mate, West Coast is going to come back here. They're going to come back. And I'll put money on them. But look, I mean, we got the win in the end. It's not, as I said, not impressed. Not impressed, the slightest. And a lot of improvement to do out of Essendon. We can still make the 8, Dom, but we got to win 2 of our next 3 and have some results go our way to have even a chance.
Definitely. Next one, we had the Crows defeating the Suns by 28, 89-61. Then we had the ball over in the Hawthorn-Collingwood game. The Hawks get the win by 32 points. And the cracks are starting to show in the Pies Football Club. And there's 2 teams, and it happened to be the 2 teams that are on top of the ladder that are struggling for form leading into finals, and Collingwood have lost their best player in Nick Dacos for 6 weeks. They'll get him back, I think, for the prelim. If they can make it there, time will tell. So he's out for 6 weeks. They're in a bit of trouble. And backing it into the other game, the Cats defeated Port Adelaide by 12 points. So the top 2 just struggling. Port Adelaide's lost their last four games. Sauce. And I think I read a stat that the last 14 games in September that they've played, they've lost in the month of September. It's like something stupid, this stat. So they're at a bit of a risk of dropping out of the top 4 because there's a couple teams that are climbing up that are finding form leading into the finals. All right.
My preseason pick, Domma, even though we've
said
given a bit of stick throughout the season, I did say Melbourne would be coming and roaring back this year. That was my preseason pick.
You did say in the preseason. I've got the page open here, the double coverage page. I've got a pin.
I'm pretty sure it was.
You did say Melbourne was going to win the flag, and you said the runner-up was going to be the Carlton Football Club. You did say that.
Well, they're steaming home.
You said moving up was going. This is where you said Melbourne to win the flag, Carlton to be runners up, Wooden Spoon Hawthorn. We're wrong on that one. I was right. I said West Coast. Moving up, you said the Blues, which they have. Set to fall, you said the Swans. Brownlow Cripps won't happen. Coleman, Jeremy Cameron won't happen. Rising Star Ashcroft, probably not going to happen. Recruit of the Year, Ollie Henry, probably not going to happen. I said Dunkley. Who knows? But the main ones, I don't know. It's looking pretty good. Swans defeat the Giants by 11 points in that one. North try to give Melbourne a scare. Don't be ridiculous, North
They
fans.
got out to a fast start.
Yeah, it's okay. Lost by 32. Take it, whatever. Season's done anyway. The Brisbane Lions defeat the Dockers by 3 points. And we'll get to this game last. It wasn't the last game of the round, but we'll get to this one because the Blues are flying. They were down by up to 5 goals in this game against the Saints, and they rallied back and ended up winning it by 19 points.
It was a big turnaround. I think they scored 4 unanswered goals.
They're on
in the
fire.
last quarter. They are steaming. Oh, I mean, I'm getting Western Bulldogs vibes when Western Bulldogs came in with that hot form, steaming into September, looking El Primo. I mean, they're most likely going to finish 5th or 6th at this point. And they're going to have to do it from outside the 4. I just can't, I can't see them getting back the 10 points that they need to make it up on power. But I mean, they're looking good. And I mean, they have the belief. And you heard it here first. I know they have the belief because that's who I seen down there. The Blues boys. They were down there.
I'm
They were
interested because
sipping
I
on the
haven't heard this
cafe.
story. You did tell me you saw them.
Cafe, and you had the El Capitan, the big Capitan, speaking across, and they just got that belief in the group that they know what's going to come from the guy next to them, what they're going to get every week. And if they have that belief that
can you paraphrase some of the things that he was saying? Do you remember some of the things that he was saying?
They're just talking about, obviously the footy that they're playing and the brand of footy that they're playing that's allowing them to win these type of games, but then also having the belief in this in each other that you're gonna get the performance that you need week in and week out. Effort after effort throughout the 4 quarters that are going to see you out those games, especially in the manner, the way that they won that game on the weekend where they were down, and they fought their way back, and in the end they won the game comfortably. That belief, and I'll tell you what, they're flying high, and they were confident, mate. They are confident, and I think they really believe that their best footy can beat anyone in the competition. Should they be able to go deep into September? And it's looking good for them. I mean, it's looking good. Should they be able to get big Harry Mackay back before September? You've got the dynamic duo up there, up top. They've got a few guys to come back in. And what's amazing, Dom, is they're doing this with a few injuries to some key players as well.
They've got no Walsh, no Kennedy, and no Chera.
Yep.
And they're winning games. It's pretty good. Let's get to some of the people in the chat. We've got Matty Tabe, Magda, Global, Adam, welcome. What do we got in here? Magda says, my Rue boys gave it to them in the first half. They did. Matty Tabe says, Kane Corns is a big lemon. Yes, that is very true. Adam says, bit too late to start believing in their own team. Should have been doing that in April. No, I disagree. I disagree with you on that one, Adam. Magda says, Pies v Blues, grand final. A few weeks ago, Blue Balls supporters were calling for Voss's head on a platter and abusing the players when they walk. Yeah, that was hilarious. I did laugh at that. Not the Voss thing, but when that guy was losing it over the rail. 2 months ago, they had the captain and the coach hanging from the rafters. But that's what happens when you're a high-profile club like Carlton. But they've done something. And I'll tell you what that thing was, Sauce. They became flat-track bullies for 6 weeks. They became flat-track bullies, or 5 weeks. And then in the 6th week, because they were just winning and they gained that belief, they played Port Adelaide. They defeated Port Adelaide. The following week, they played Collingwood, defeated Collingwood, and now the rest is history. They believe they can win every game because they've looked at the top 2 teams and gone, we've beaten them, we can beat anyone. So that's what confidence and run of form does. It does help massively.
Yeah, it does help, but if you have a look at those games, what they were able to do, especially against Collingwood, against Port Adelaide, 2 of the best midfielders in the competition, in midfields, they were able to dominate the contested ball. They were able to win it around the contest, and then when you're able to win it around the contest, get the ball moving forward, their forward pressure has been outrageous. They've been top, up top for forward pressure in these games where they're winning. So they've found their formula that they need to get the ball forward, they need to win it from the contest, they need to lock it there, get repeat entries, and they've got the capability to grind out games. But also what I've seen from them is, earlier in the season, you've seen a lot of, you didn't see much them taking the game on from the back half, looking to link up with that overlap handball, which I've seen a lot more from them, which then allows the break up the pay. You're able to skip that zone and they're able to get those one-on-ones inside 50. But when they do move the ball quick, they're able to lock that ball inside 50, which is, enabled them to win more games, have more forward half time in the ground, in the game, and then, win games. I mean, they dominated in that fourth quarter against St. Kilda in forward half. They killed it, right? So they've been able to play up 4 quarters, putting in good efforts. I mean, I don't see why the Blues they'd be flying right now, and I don't understand.
And they should be.
Yeah, I mean, I know they are. They are confident, man. Like the way that they were speaking, they've just got this belief, and I could hear what they were talking, and the words and the belief that they have in themselves in the group that, this could be a year of, one to remember. So they've got to put in that effort, and I think Blues fans get excited, but just keep the lid. Just
the lid's off, mate. The lid is off.
Lid a little bit shut. A little bit shut.
For their fans, it's off.
I know it's off. Blue Border was off 2 weeks ago, man.
Yeah, that's what
Blue
I'm saying.
Border was off 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you can give them advice, but they're going to take that advice and tell you to get stuffed.
Look, I'm speaking from a guy that's a team that hasn't won a final in 20 plus years. So
Saucy may have mentioned this to me. They are playing better without Mackay. You did mention that.
I did mention that. Yes, I did say that.
And Curno's been playing unbelievable footy as well at the moment. He was kept quiet on the weekend, but he's been really good. Anyway, let's get to the tips for this week, Sauce. Round 22, Friday night football. And we've got the Pies versus the Cats. The Pies are the favourites in this one. And I'll tell you what, I'm not tipping them.
No Dacos, no Pies, you reckon?
No, I'm just not tipping them. I'm not confident. The brand of football they played the last few weeks has been shit.
Yeah, it hasn't been good.
I'm actually going to tip against Collingwood. I haven't done this since round 9. Since round 9, 2022, I have not tipped against the Pies.
I'm going to tip the Pies.
I'm going Geelong for the first time in.
It's a big game for Geelong. Geelong need to win.
This is unbelievable. This could bite me in the arse. North Melbourne versus the Bombers.
Essendon. Not confident. I am confident because
I'm going Essendon as well.
You guys are shit against us.
Sydney versus Gold Coast.
Sydney.
Sydney's a game out.
Must win for them. Must win.
I'm going Sydney as well. Lions Crows at the Gabba.
Lions. It's going to be tough game coming back from Perth.
I'm going Lions as well. Blues versus D's at the G.
Blues.
Whew. Wow. I'm going
They're flying.
with... These are two teams that are playing good football at the moment. I'm going to have to back the Blues in. West Coast versus Fremantle.
Freo.
That is a Saturday night game. I'm going Freo also. Hawthorn, Western Bulldogs in Tassie. It's a must win now for the Dogs. They have to win this game. I'm backing the Dogs.
Tough game. Oh yeah, I'll go to the Dogs, but not confident. Hawks have been playing well.
St Kilda, Richmond at Marvel.
Saints got them there earlier in the year, I believe.
Yep.
And I reckon Saints get him again.
I'm going Saints too. Port Adelaide versus GWS in the last game of the round.
I am going to go... They got to bounce back at some point. Port Adelaide.
I'm also going Port Adelaide. Very nice. They're the tips for the week. Just a quick ladder snapshot. Here it is. Pies, D's, Lions, Port, Carlton, Western Bulldogs, St Kilda, GWS are the top 8. And then 2 points out, Geelong, Sydney, 4 points out, Adelaide, Essendon, and 6 points out, Richmond and Gold Coast, probably too far out. Well, 8 points for Gold Coast. Yep. There you go. That's the snapshot. Very nice. Welcome, Maddie from Matt's Card Shop. He said, hope my coaster is getting a good workout. That's directed at you, Sauce. You did buy a coaster off of him at the show. So, very nice. Let me take that off. All right, let's get into it, Sauce. Women's World Cup. There's a couple games going on at the moment. Colombia, it's finished.
Yeah,
Colombia beat
finished.
Jamaica 1-0.
Come on.
France play Morocco at 9 o'clock. That'll be starting very soon. Spain defeated Switzerland 5-1. Japan defeated Norway 3-1. Netherlands over South Africa 2-0. England defeat Nigeria in a penalty shootout. The Swedes get the win over the United States in a penalty shootout.
Justice.
That to me, if Australia, unfortunately, I think we got a chance of actually winning this tournament. But if we happen to falter and not win, personally, the United States getting booted out and that certain person kicking the ball over the bar and costing their team the win is probably second greatest thing to actually winning the World Cup for me, personally. So I know people should say you shouldn't be laughing at other people's misfortune, but fucking hell. The way that she's put the sport through the absolute ringer in the last 5 to 10 years, it's a bit of karma to end your career. I just bit you on the ass, nice and big. Yep, big lemon. And then the Aussies against Denmark, 2-0. You know, it was a bit shaky early. I know we got that nice goal. Fowler played a Luka Modric, literally a Luka the Don type ball. It was unbelievable. The through ball was mint to Caitlin Ford, who they gave her a 10 out of 10 match performance rating. And I agree with that. It was a 10 out of 10. She just chopped up everyone that came.
Every time she picked up the ball, she was
dominated.
just running at them and just was
She's a gun.
wreaking havoc down that left wing.
So she gets the opener, but Denmark pressed. And you know what? They were unlucky not to probably kick a couple. But, you know, our defense held up and were resilient enough. That goal obviously set us in good stead, getting us up 1-0. And then we made it 2-0 via Arazo in the second half. And the rest is history. Sam Kerr came on. A lot of people asking, why did Sam Kerr come on? Now, so, as someone that plays the sport and someone that watches the sport as well as Saucy, when you got a player coming back from injury, they need to play. You can't just say to Sam Kerr, you're coming off a calf injury, you haven't played one lick of any minute in any game, and you're going to go play 90 minutes. It does not work that way. I personally, my prediction is she probably comes on and plays 25 minutes in the next game.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Everyone said, oh, she starts. She doesn't start. She's the type of player now, like, you got to bring her on 65th minute. What happens if the game's on the line and you got Sam Kerr coming off the bench? I
agree. I think they need to bring her off the bench, sure.
It goes literally that 25 into a half, into 70 minutes, and then by the time Australia makes it to the final, which hopefully we do, she'll be able to play, put in 90 minutes. So that's why she came on. It's more a fitness test. Unfortunately, she slipped and I thought she did her ACL. Did you see that slip?
I thought she nearly did her calf, her groin.
Man, I shit myself. I was like, you're kidding me. She's come on, she's gone and taken a step, and she slipped on the turf, and that's what's going to injure her. But they were fantastic. Good on them, and good luck with the next one, which is... Who are we playing? We play on Saturday at 5 o'clock. I know that. Fixtures. Is it France? Yeah, it is. The winner of the France game. France-Morocco is who we play. Azudor says, if they're down at half, she comes on. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's fair enough. Japan are good. Yes, they are very good. Best thing about this World Cup, match fitness, correct. Kerr needed some minutes, exactly, and she'll work as a super sub till she gets back into the starting lineup 100%. Now, Saucy, in other big news, the EPL is back this week.
We're back on.
It is back. Round 1. Here we go. Burnley, Man City to open the season on the 12th. When's that? 9, 10, 11, 12. Saturday morning. 5 a.m. Saturday night at 11:30 p.m. Sauce. Arsenal versus Nottingham. So we get to see your mob take the field. Sunday, Bournemouth, West Ham, Brighton, Luton, who have been promoted, Everton, Fulham, Sheffield, Crystal Palace, Newcastle, Villa, Brentford, Tottenham. Monday morning, Chelsea versus Liverpool at 1:30 a.m. And Tuesday morning at 5 a.m., Manchester United versus Wolves. There you go. It's back. There we go. We've got a Sui on the EPL from Magda. Global says, has Liverpool got any new players? Yes, they've got Dominic Szoboszlai, who's actually a good player. So Liverpool will be good this season.
Another one that featured on the podcast.
Yeah,
back in the
on the podcast. No comment. Azuro may or may not have mentioned him. So very funny.
Lukey was on him back in the day.
Lukey was on him too. Keep an eye out for your local guides. It's all the games are on Optus. Table prediction says Magda. Oh fuck. Oh,
Arsenal, we're winning it this year, mate. We're winning it along with the Champions League. All right.
You're realistic about Essendon. Don't be ridiculous about Arsenal. Man City, I think top 4. Man City, Liverpool in second, Arsenal third, United don't make Champions League, Tottenham are in fourth, I think. I'm backing in Postecoglou.
Ange Ball, how's it going to go? Ange Ball in the Premier League.
Chelsea won't finish mid-table. They'll be back up there. They'll be pretty good this season. The vibe around the club, in all reports, is they're all loving football again. Could have been the coaches that were costing them. They got Pochettino back there now, so we'll see how they go.
At where?
Chelsea. It's Chelsea, isn't he?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
Who gets relegated? I have no idea. It'd probably be like Luton.
Yeah,
They come up
Luton
to go
probably.
back down. So tune in to the EPL. All right, Saucy, I'm going to throw it to you for some UFC. I don't think overlays are working.
Probably is working.
Maybe on YouTube. I put the roll clean up one up. It's probably up on YouTube. So
We don't know.
run
As
with
you
it.
know, ladies and gentlemen, this segment, UFC preview and review, is sponsored by Roll Clean Soap, the #1 in Australian MMA, BJJ, martial arts, hygiene. Don't be the smelly guy at the gym. Roll in with confidence and destroy the competition. Freshly made, 100% Australian owned, out of South Australia. Get your Roll Clean Soap. Use the code double coverage at checkout for 20% off your order. You got your bath bombs, you got your Boost Balm, your magnesium bath salts, you've got your standard soaps, you've got your beard oils, your beard wax, the works. All right. So head down there, www.rollclean.com.au, or head to @rollcleansoap, I believe, on Instagram. Could be wrong, but just head to their website because they will have you covered. www.rollclean.com.au. All right, Domma, we
Go for
had
it, Sauce.
UFC Fight Night, Sandhagen versus Font. as you know, ladies and gentlemen, I'll run you through the card. Ignacio Bamanidis defeated by Ludwig Klein. Unfortunate for Ignacio. It was an up-and-comer that I was watching in the lightweight division. He did go the distance and got done on points. So unfortunate for him. He'll have to bounce back in his next fight. In the light heavyweight division, Tana Bosa defeated Alexa Kamar in a third-round decision. In the featherweight division, Diogo Lopez defeated Gavin Tucker. First-round submission. In the light heavyweight, Dustin Jacob defeated Kennedy. I'm not even going to have a crack at that surname. KO in the first round. Look, he got KO in the first round, so we won't embarrass him any more than need be. Women's strawweight, you had Tatiana Suarez defeating Jessica Andrade, second round submission. Tatiana Suarez moves to 11-0 as a professional MMA fighter, so watch out for her. She looks like an absolute terror. And in the main event, Corey Sandhagen went the distance against Rob Font and got the decision over 5 rounds. That moves him to 17-4. And another fight night, another UFC card done. This weekend, there is another card as well, and that is main event by Vicente Luque and Rafael Dos Anjos in the welterweight division, and co-main event by Cub Swanson and Hakeem Dawodu. And then honorable mentions, not much. But tune in this weekend, 9 a.m. If you want to check that out. And Domma, not sure if you've seen, you had Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz. He got the win, did Jake Paul. Look, I could have told you I've seen this one coming because, look, Jake Paul against these MMA fighters, he's going to beat them all day. We've seen when he actually versed a guy who's trained boxing most of his life, Tommy Fury, he lost. I think that will be the thing for him. I think it's just to see how big he can build this up and see who we can eventually get. But it'll be interesting. It'll be funny if Floyd Mayweather ever decides to do a exhibition bout with him.
Maddie says surely a Jake Paul Diaz mention, which we have, is boxing dead and just a money grab. I'm going to say no, because all this stuff, all these promotion things with like these YouTuber promotions are whatever, they're gimmicky. They got big followings. Like Jake Paul actually fights like actual fighters. Yeah, so I'm not going to discredit him. The Nate Robinson one and all that shit at the beginning, yeah, that was all a joke, yeah. But he's actually fighting people, yeah, boxing, except for Tommy Fury, like you said, Sauce, who's got a bit of that boxing background. He's fought MMA fighters and done all that stuff. All the other guys, like Logan fought against Mayweather, all that shit. But KSI and Logan Paul have got like a boxing promotion, and it's a lot of like, it is up and coming boxers, but YouTubers get on there and they fight. Put that aside. That's the gimmick. 2 weeks ago, I didn't talk about it on this show because I said until boxing gets its shit together, I'm not going to really talk about it. But Terence Crawford and Errol Spence fought in an absolute war. And like, this is proper boxing, not that bullshit that was on the weekend, right? If that fight got half the exposure this Jake Paul rubbish fight got,
no one heard about it.
Boxing would
I knew about it.
Yeah, no, boxing would be back on the map, Source. It would be back on the map if that fight gets as much publicity as the Jake Paul one, because you'd be watching it with your jaw hitting the ground at how freaking good those guys were in the ring.
Yeah, in the chat, who did anyone know about that Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight that happened? I think last weekend. Last weekend
or the weekend before. Was it? Is it Errol Spence is the one that came back from the car accident? He rolled his car, almost died. They said he'd never fight again. He had like one of the worst concussions ever. He came back and he's got in the ring. He lost to Terence Crawford.
No, he came back and had fights after he's
but he never looked. He hadn't looked the same. And then the other one too, not mentioned on this show, when Lomachenko fought against Haney, another amazing fight. No one talks about that. They're too busy talking about something else. Like another rubbish fight. So
Yeah,
boxing actually is good.
it's-
Boxing is very good at the moment. Very, very good.
I think it'll be the same with the Ngannou and Tyson Fury sort of situation. I mean, even though that's
Mike
it's
Tyson
going to get
there coaching
it's going to
Tyson.
get got a lot of traction.
Mike Tyson's coaching Ngannou.
Mate, if he could come in with some
Yeah.
Mike Tyson type technique and get in with his power, mate, why couldn't he knock out Tyson Fury?
If he can land the punch on Tyson Fury, you got to remember Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder 3 times, and that Deontay Wilder is renowned as one of the hardest hitting boxers probably to ever live. And he literally, Deontay Wilder put Tyson Fury into another dimension, and he still sat up like The Undertaker and won that fight. So we're talking about arguably, okay, ladies and gents, I'm not saying he is, but you're talking about arguably one of the greatest world heavyweight boxers in the history of the sport in Tyson Fury. The history. I'm not talking about in this generation, the history of the sport. That is how good he is.
I know he's good. I've got 2 of his autos, mate. So
don't get me wrong, if he gets the lucky punch and it lands and he hits harder than Deontay Wilder and he sends him into another galaxy, then he might win. But the way that Tyson Fury fights, if you've never watched him fight before, his reach, the way he keeps the length on people, the way he changes up his stancing, his footwork, he entices you to throw. He entices you to throw punches, so he ducks and weaves and bobs, and you never hit him, and you lose your energy, and then he just comes out of the corner. His notorious move is he steps to the side and he goes bang, 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 and every jab he extends his distance on the opponent. You've seen it 100 times. He's done it against Wilder. He's done it against everyone he's fought. He gets backed into the corner, does the duck dodge, dip dive and dodge like in dodgeball, like Patches O'Houlihan taught average Joes. And then he comes out with a side swipe and he goes bang, bang, bang. And he hits the guy 3 times, 4 times, has to get their hands up. It's the jab. He's so good to watch. And that's why Saucy said he's got his autos.
Yeah, look,
the guy can fight.
We'll talk about it when it gets a bit closer to the fight. I think Fury will win the fight regardless.
Yeah, but it's good for Ngannou.
I'll tune in.
Man, it's good for Ngannou. I'm happy he's doing something. Am I shattered? We never got to see him fight John Jones and probably never see it. 100%. That's a shattering thing for MMA fans. But you can't. I said this about the Sadio Mane. I said this about Benzema, about all these guys that have taken a lot of money, Sauce. Yeah. And people need to understand, listening to this show, watching this show, you don't need to take my opinion as gospel. You might say you're full of shit, Dom. But when the guy like Sadio Mane gets paid that much money, and Ngannou gets paid that much money, these are guys that grew up in their country eating food on the streets, man. Going to trash cans and trying to find food, maybe not even having food for days on end, not even being able to sleep under shelter. They had nothing. They watched their loved ones get killed in front of them. And people are begrudging them for taking $100 million contracts. People out there that are saying that, you've got no idea, no concept of reality in life. These guys did it hard. They came from nothing, man. That's their sport. That's the industry that they're in. They pay that much money. And I would never begrudge a guy. I don't care if it's Ronaldo, this guy, that guy. Ronaldo came up from a hard upbringing as well. All these guys came from pretty much nothing. And they took the money. But that's because they excelled in their industry and became the best, Sauce. And when you become the best in your industry, you get paid. That's the way it works. You can't begrudge him. So, Ngannou, all the best. You're going to probably get beaten, but
you still can get paid even if you're not the best quite well.
Yeah, that's fine.
But still,
for Sadio Mane and guys like that, level. They're like, oh yeah, but he played at Liverpool 2 seasons ago. What a waste. What do you mean, what a waste?
You won a Champions League.
You won a Champions League. You won a title. A Premier League. How many Liverpool fans can turn around and say that they've seen one of them in their lifetime? He was a part of that. So anyway, all the best to Ngannou. He's done very well to get to where he is. Does he win? Probably not, but as Sauce said, we'll cover it when we get to it. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get to Hobby Talk, brought to you by Platinum Standard Grading. Saucy, first one off the ranks. This broke after our show last week, so we weren't able to cover this. Of course, the timing, very unfortunate for us. I just need to open the comments again here. But the great man over here, Post Malone, purchased the Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings 1 of 1 ring card. Here it is. He paid $2.6 million. It says here it's 10.6 million less than the most expensive trading card ever, which is a Mickey Mantle. No surprises. But this is the card in question. All right, Sauce. He's the man that had it. You got to meet him, sold it to him in person. Fantastic. Absolutely awesome.
I think it was 2. I think it might have been 2 million, not 2.6.
I think it was it 2 million? I thought it was 2.6.
Yeah.
That's okay. 2 million.
Yeah,
anyway,
sure. Anyway,
he sold it for 2 million. We'll say you sold it for $2 million. This is honestly amazing for that person to go and do that. Unreal. Now, I've got a little story I want to share on the podcast about this card in question. And Saucy might have a bit of a laugh and he can put his comments in on this. It was 2.6, says Matty Tape. I thought it was. Anyway, we went somewhere, Sauce, and the Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings cards were for sale. Saucy and I were browsing, all right? We were browsing around, and there was someone that asked a question about that 1 of 1 card. It had just been pulled that week, actually. Yep. It had been pulled that week. It's when it was revealed to the public that it has been pulled, and don't bother searching for it anymore. Our boxes now are worth jack shit because the best card has been pulled. That's effectively, that's the way it works. Everyone was scrambling to try and find this card. It's been found, so now the product's worth nothing apart from collecting it to build your decks to play the game, the TCG game. This person said, and I quote, "If I was that person, I wouldn't sell that card for $2 million." Because someone put a $2 million or $1.8 million price tag on the card, or it was a $1.5 million bounty, or whatever it was.
Bounties on it.
Yeah, bounty. And he goes, "I would not sell that card. I would wait and hold it till it got up to about $5 million. Now, when Saucy and I heard that, we spoke about it once we left the place, and we actually laughed at ourselves. First and foremost, if someone offered you $1.5 million for that card, that is $1.5 million you never had before. Why are we trying to get greedy to fleece the person for $5 million? It's $1.5 million for a piece of cardboard that the bank is never going to give you a loan on, and this guy's going to give you liquid cash for. It's not going to an auction in a private sale.
No, but it's worth $5, mate. It's worth $5. I just couldn't understand his logic. We were in a card shop at the time, and I was talking to it, and we heard this conversation, between two people in the card shop, and I was trying not to butt in and just say, "Mate, come on, surely you would just take the money." Like, come on, I think at the time someone had put a bounty on it at 1.8 million or something like that.
Yeah, something stupid.
And I was just like, "Mate, you just take the money straight up." And he was saying, no, I'd hold on to it and make a bidding war and get it up to 5. I'm like, a bidding war. How many people actually want that card? You know what I mean? Like, at $2 million, there wouldn't be a shit ton of buyers. You're lucky Post Malone's like the biggest Magic the Gathering fan of all time. And you've got someone right there that.
And he's rich and he's a celebrity and he's got money. Because he's
Exactly.
successful.
He's loaded. And he's just changed this guy's life. Like, of course you take the 2 million, mate. You don't get greedy. So that bloke in the card shop, I mean, if you hit
If
that
Post
card,
Malone came up to him, he wouldn't have taken it, Sauce, technically.
if you hit that card and you didn't take the money, you are a lemon.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Post Malone coming up to you and going, "I want to buy the car for $2.5 million." You turn around to him and going, "Oh, you got any other mates interested? I want 5." I would have just straight up just laughed in his face and be like, "I got a briefcase with $2.5 million cash here for you, and you want a bidding war? Are you an idiot? What do you do for a living?" I work at
This is
Walmart.
no word of a
You know
lie,
what I
ladies and
mean?
gentlemen. Like, if you think we're making this story up, we went into a card shop together, and this
Sauce.
was the conversation between 2 people in the card shop.
We
at the
can't
same
make
time.
this type of shit up because this is unfortunately the warped reality that people have when it comes to cards. Sometimes that's genuinely what they believe. It's insane, but I'm glad that it got solved for $2.5 million. That guy now has got, he's made a connection with Post Malone, which people look at the $2.5 million. I'll look at that and I go, he's also networked. He might be a massive Magic the Gathering collector, and he's friends with Post Malone. He's networked now. Who knows what happens in the future? He might hit other big cards, and then now he's got a direct connection to him, and he might be able to just keep turning over cards. So it works out good for him in that way. But you know what? $2.5 million. That's $2.5 million he didn't have before. Good on him. It's awesome. For Post Malone, fantastic. He has another Magic card worth about $1 million, says Global. Yep, Adam says, at least it went to someone that appreciates it. Global says, was it Grayson store? No, it was not.
It was in Canada, it was hit.
And Post Malone is cooked. Sounds like the bloke in the card shop is a flog. It's better than S. Oh, no. I'm putting that comment up.
Yes, that did happen.
And I'm putting that comment up straight after it.
Yep, he's been around on the messages.
All right.
As old mate, Goat Gang.
Sauce Gary V. You're impressed? You weren't impressed
with his V Friends booth.
It's going to be on the same level as Magic the Gathering. Speaking of a segue, V Friends TCG game.
Yeah, so he had his booth, and anyone who hasn't, seen this video, go check it out from the lads down at Sports Card Nonsense. They did a bit of an interview with him for 9 minutes, so go check it out. You can skip the first 3.5 minutes where he's just pumping up V Friends if you're not interested in V Friends. But outside of that, when he goes past that point, they ask him some questions like, what did you? Where did you go? Like, why did you stop talking about the hobby? And his answer was like, well, I talked about what I was buying and what I was doing in the hobby, and I'm called a pumper. I don't talk about it, and now I'm scum because I'm not, still involved in the hobby. I'm still buying, like he goes, I'm still buying, and then Jesse goes on to say, oh, I like to hear what you're buying. And he goes, oh, I bought the Ronaldo Mega Cracks, for 86,000. And I also bought Aaron Rodgers contenders contenders autos. I'm buying those because obviously he's gone to his Jets. And I'm like, it's all good that like he's saying those things, but what you're saying there and what you're buying is a completely different ball game to what you were telling people to buy or what you would show at other times when you posted a picture of a Mookie Betts Tops update. That probably is about 50,000 of them out there. And, it's literally just a base card. And then you going on about how hoarding base cards and PSA 10 base cards is like collecting or is good. They're going to go up in value. Like this whole, that was the big discrepancy in that, in what he's saying now and what he's bought and what he would show at other times and what he would speak about, it's a big difference in the type of card that you're buying, to a Prism base PSA 10 compared to a freaking, a
Mega Cracks Ronaldo.
Mega Cracks Ronaldo and a Contenders, auto Aaron Rodgers. Like, that's a fucking big difference to a freaking base card, Like, come on, man. Like, and I'm not saying he was only buying that stuff, and he was buying older stuff. You've seen him buying some older vintage, and it's a bit different in vintage. Him posting his Lowell Cinder rookie cards, like, that's different. Buying that is different compared to buying a freaking, Luka Doncic Prism base rookie card, or a Zion Prism base rookie card at the time, or or any of the other peanuts that they were going on about.
Sauce. The thing that I'm confused about in this whole story about him getting flamed for obviously not buying cards, and then he got flamed for buying cards. We're talking about 10% of his following that might be trolling him, but the other 90% of the people, Sauce, love this guy. You're saying that they bagged this guy for what he bought, but I'm going to bring it up. I am. I have to. I can't help myself. All right? I want to see if I can... This is the... I swear, like, this is the part I just don't get. This is the guy that was selling freaking spontaneous seahorse, positive porcupine, and spiffy salmon, gratitude gorilla. He had autos of a very, 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 very lucky black cat. He had a hand-drawn no notorious card. He was selling glitter Buzzy B Uno inserts, and he fleeced his whole following. The 90% that believe everything that he said, that bought his V-Friends card boxes, his Uno cards, and you're telling me that you got flamed.
Mate, V-Friends is going to be bigger than Magic the Gathering in the future, mate, because now it's got a TCG game attached.
Sauce, do you understand do you understand how silly it sounds when he says that? I actually like Gary V. I'd love to have him on and talk to him. But you can't go and say that, I don't talk about cards anymore because of this. But your whole following listens to you. If you told them you're going out to buy a Ronaldo Mega Cracks, I'll tell you what, there's some guy out there that'll take a loan from the bank because he thinks that card's going to go to freaking $500,000. There'll be someone stupid enough to do that follows him. Yeah, I'm being serious. Like, you can't just say that the whole hobby turned on you and that's why I don't post anymore. I'm still in the hobby, but people don't like what I did this, and like,
I just don't. I just think that's a cop out, mate. Because I just don't believe he gives enough of a shit. His personality, and he's like, don't give it. Like, I do my thing. I don't give a shit what anyone else says. Why would he actually care what the people are giving him if they're giving him crap? You know what I mean? Like, I actually don't understand why he's like giving into that small amount of people that are giving him shit. But like, I mean, we're sitting here and giving him shit, but I'm giving him shit after what he's saying now compared to what he was preaching later on. And I'm talking. I've been listening to Gary V podcast since 2017, man. In 2017, 2018, he was talking about buying sports cards, right? And talking about this, and he's talking about, he was talking about Luka Doncic base prisms, and and he drove that narrative. I'm not saying he was 100% the reason for all that crap, but like, that drove that narrative. And then the other investor crowd and sports card investor and other people that came on to drive the hype on these base cards, they all banded together like merry men. The great Lemon, all of these people, they would all been involved, right? And they pushed it all. They pushed it all up, and they unloaded, mate. They would have unloaded. Now, sure, they got stuck with some, but mate, fuck, go have a look at what a Luka Doncic. I mean, fuck, Zion PSA 10 base prisms were going for $1,000 US. They're going for less than $70 US now. That's ridiculous. You're losing 90%, more than 90% of your. of what you would have bought it at. Like,
I
it's
love
just,
it. I love it.
it's just crazy, man.
Dan says you guys should make your own V Friends card. Larry Lemon.
Yeah, we were gonna make the Le Mans NFTs, mate, at one stage, and that was actually a thing. We were gonna, and the whole point of it was, if you can get someone to buy your Le Mans NFT, they are now officially in the Le Mans club, and they are officially a Le Mans, like the other person who bought the other Le Mans before him. And if you get people to keep buying the Le Mans, you got a bag full of Le Mans.
The premise behind it was we're actually obviously going to do it to make some money, but then we're going to use a big portion of that to give back to the hobby.
That was the plan. Yeah, big portion. We were going to keep 99.9% and just give out 0.1%. That's what. Isn't that how the influencers? Isn't that what Mr. Jeff did when he borrowed the PPP money?
Well, we weren't making enough money in our business. We could have got a PPP loan from the bank. Just the loan. What are you going to put up as collateral? I don't know. I'll put up a Zion base card for $1,000 at the time. Absolute idiots. Oh, man. Sources on the money. Le Mans friends. Magda says, I want to be a Le Mans. Matty Tape says, scratch and sniff cards. They're already in our thing. And I saw this comment up here because we're going to get into the Melbourne card fair, which was awesome. And Dan jumped in. First thing he said, well, look what we have here, the loaded box king himself. And that he's referred to me.
With his $3 card.
Yeah. Anyway, Melbourne Card Fair was fantastic, Sauce. You were at the last one. I unfortunately wasn't there. So the one I was at prior to that was good turnout of stalls, but not that many people. And this time around, unreal. So many people. It was chockers in there. Like, you had to squeeze through the aisles to get through. It was, the traffic was unreal. Absolutely unreal. Matt Tape says, have to watch Matty's YouTube video. Yes, I definitely will. He did set up. Matt's card shop was there. Had a table, which was fantastic. Good to see him there. Magic Cardboard. There was heaps of people there. Heaps of people, Sauce. And, of course, Card Fever. And that's where Sauce and I did some damage. We bought there. I kept one of the packs so we could show it on the pod. Here you go. Here's their repack. This was the Champions League Gold Series. We bought 3 of these. Funnily enough, I picked number 7. Obviously, you can guess why, because of Ronaldo. So I picked 7, and I said to the boys, I go, knowing my luck, I'm going to pull a Messi out of this. And I shit you not, I did say that. You can ask Saucy. The guys there were like, when I pulled the Messi out of there, they were pissing themselves laughing. My face was like, you're kidding me. They haven't seen a guy more deflated pulling this card ever, probably from their product. So there it is. There's the Messi. Saucy, what did you pull?
I cleaned up. I pulled the Declan Rice rookie camo to 60. SGC 9. So I'll take it.
Very nice.
New to
And
Arsenal.
in there as well, Sauce, they had stuff. They had World Cup sticker pack in there, like fat packs, all type of stuff. They had some other base cards and stuff in there as well, like low-end rookie cards. But it's good. And Saucy's got the Card Fever collectibles card.
Card Fever, fire 10 off at checkout at cardfever.com.au to get 10% off. Boys, if you're listening to this, I want a double coverage code for 15% off. So tee that one up and we can give it out next time on the show. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen, Card Fever. You can check them out. You can get they've got their repacks sold online there. I do have some stuff to rip. So they gave us one of these, the Champions League mini series.
Just quickly, I was that pissed off that I pulled Messi that I'm like, I'm going to buy another one. All right. And ripped it open.
You went back.
And I left as a
redemption.
All right. I got my redemption. All right. I got it, Sauce. And then I hit the great man. Here he is. PSA 9.
Ronaldo.
So I was happy. over to you. You want to rip some stuff? I'm going to rip some stuff as well. We've got a fair bit to rip. The show was fantastic. Good to see everyone turn out. Onwards and upwards, man. There's a thing coming up next, a TCG one as well. So
yeah, Tricon is on the 19th and 20th of August. So if you haven't got your tickets, get your tickets to Tricon. And we will be there on the 20th. So if you want to get this Sunday, you'll see us down there. All right. You know what? I'm going
that's
straight
my
to
boy, Consolo.
Matthew Lonton. Don't know who the hell that is. Romelu Lukaku. And a widescreen Tyrone Mings. That was shit.
I'm actually gonna rip. I'm ripping the stickers. I'm ripping everything.
Yeah, I'm ripping my stickers right now. Oh, let's see what we got. You can
just an update, also, ladies and gents. I did listen to a few people that commented post show and messaged. I have contacted the Messiah. All right. Saucy and I contacted him. And all reports, obviously, you're following his story. He's on his way back. He called me yesterday afternoon. It was 11 p.m. in New York when he called me. Very tired.
Didn't get anything on my stickers, ladies and gents. Got nothing.
But yeah, he's doing well. He's on his way back, and
we'll
it's
have
up to him. I've extended the invite to him.
We've extended the invite. We will get
if he wants to come on, ladies and gents, if he wants to come on, he comes on. I'm not forcing him on. All right, but if he comes on, he comes on. And it would be unreal if he did.
All right.
So
this bloke, Aaron Ramsey, good young player. Aaron Ramsey, according to Grayson, one time when I was watching their stream, he called him a good young player, even though he's 30 plus years old. Rafael Leao, that's actually a nice card. I might keep that one. And then I hit a numbered Igor Akinfeev.
Is it Akinfeev?
Akinfeev, that's for, I don't know, he plays for some Russian team.
Dan says, I spoke to Jay for over an hour on Sunday. I love it.
All right, Domma, you get up now.
I'm gonna go stickers first.
Rip away.
I'm going stickers first. We don't get any of those special 101 stickers, do we? That was like in America, their packs, wasn't it?
No, I think you can get the black sticker and, I think you can.
I just want Ronaldo, man. I don't care about anyone else. If I get a Messi, I'll rip it live on stream.
I've got a Pogba for you.
Here you go. I got Ramsdale for you. There you go. I got nothing else. I got the Mexican team, Michael Estrada, Harry Wilson, and nothing. Second one. What have I got? I got Mbaye. This guy actually played well for Cameroon. Or Senegal, sorry. The World Cup. Just give me Ronaldo. Oh, Paredes from Argentina. Kouyaté from Senegal. Unai Simon from Spain. And Thomas Meunier from Belgium. So they're my stickers. No Ronaldo. No Messi. And let's go. What do you want me to open first? Mosaic or EPL? I will go Prism because it's Euro, the Mosaic. Akinfeev was my GOAT goalkeeper in Football Manager 2008, says Dan the Card Man. And Adam says, what do you reckon of Rashad Evans' 2021 Prism UFC Octagon Signatures Mojo Prism in a PSA 9? That is a mouthful.
Right, that's the Rashad Evans that's 43 years old, if that's the same Rashad Evans.
Silver for you, Sauce. Thomas Partey.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah, nice. I'll take that. Red, white, and blue. Kevin De Bruyne. Jensen.
Oh,
Mucho Hernandez. Oh,
get a Ronaldo.
Brilliance. Oh. Wilfred Ndidi. And then that's it. That's the last hit. Stuart Dallas, base, and Mosaic.
Mosaic, what league?
It's Euro 2020.
Okay.
Which is good. Because I want to hit Portuguese Ronaldo's. That's what I want to hit. Rookie. This is base.
Go straight to the hits, mate.
Jackie Grealish. I've got a rookie here. Whoop. Baku. Will to win of Callum McGregor, Connor's brother. Will to win of Pedicic, Ange's golden boy this season. Oh, Goran Pandev Sauce.
Oh,
That's the
hero.
hit.
Yes, that is the hit. He's been around for years.
Of Macedonia.
Over Inter Milan, I think, at one stage.
That's it, Sauce. Oh no, I've got the bonus pack. Forgot about the bonus pack.
Last pack, then we'll wrap it up.
We're wrapping it up.
Emil Heskey was the GOAT at Newcastle Jets, Magda Rexons. Emil Heskey was a GOAT, full stop.
Rubbish. And the last card, I'm actually happy because I like this guy. Cancelo. Player I actually like. So, straight to the PC. That's it, Sauce.
That's it, ladies and gents. Show done for another week.
Unless you got any other brain busters. Anyone's got any breaking news? We're wrapping this bad boy up.
No, the only other thing that, I'll say is keep your eyes peeled, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your eyes peeled. Picked up this hobby box, $50. $50. Most other places are selling for like 99. It's funny because, at one stage, people, when these product first came out, boxes were 170, 180. Be good if you could get this sort of prices back again for hobby boxes. I'm not saying $50 is the norm, but obviously they're just trying to move on some product.
It'd be nice.
People are paying $65 for a basketball prism blaster of the latest set. You're not guaranteed an auto. You're not guaranteed a mem card. $50 here, hobby product. You're guaranteed, 4 gold ray refractors, and I think you're guaranteed at least 1 auto. So, keep your eyes out, ladies and gentlemen. There are some, bargains to be had, and hopefully we see some wax prices down on other, sectors of the hobby.
Magda wants to know what year that box is. Matty Tabe says Bryson DeChambeau shot a 58. Yes, I saw you sent me something about that, Matty. Sorry, man. I've just had a bit on the last couple of days. So I've got to post that video you sent me to. Games World have the Premier League blasters for $20 instead of 60 or 70. Go buy some for a fun rip.
Don't buy any. Just buy 1 or 2.
If you just want to rip something, it's better than paying $70.
That's the price that they should be at, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Even the basketball ones, they should be $20-$30 for a blaster. That is the price.
I'd buy 3 for $60 instead of 1 for 60 and get jack shit. At least you get 3 chances to get jack shit instead of 1.
Exactly. It's just
I couldn't help myself.
That's my beef. That's my beef in the hobby at the moment, and I feel like wax prices should be even less than where they're at.
Hopefully, it keeps going down. On that note, Sauce and everyone in the chat, thank you so much once again for tuning in and for your support. It's Double Coverage. I'm Dom with the great man Sauce. Keep living, loving, and breathing sport. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports. Double Curve.